Hey there friends, Alex Laux here and welcome to downtown Milton. Today I am doing a nice little photo walk, but I also wanted to talk to you about something that has been sitting on my heart for quite a while. You see, last month I heard a sermon preached by Pastor Alan, formerly of True North Church here in Milton, at Southside Community Church, one of the two churches I attend in town. He was speaking on encouragement, and something struck in not only my brain, but my heart as well, because he also preached on the fact that encouragement is something that isn't found too much today within our world. And then I heard another sermon that talked on Barnabas, who, as his name is given to him by the apostles as a son of encouragement, and how he encouraged Paul. And if you've grown up in the church, you know who the Apostle Paul is. And then I had a devotional that also talked on words of encouragement. These things don't happen to me often, so it's kind of like, okay, yes, I hear you, God. And I got to thinking that maybe we need more encouragement within photography, especially here online, then we need people who are discouraging or are trying to influence. So between shooting my Rolleiflex loaded with Rollei Retro 400S here in historic downtown Milton, I'm going to be talking to you about what I mean by encouragement and why I think being an encourager is more important online than trying to be an influencer. All right, let's get walking. So what exactly do I mean by the statement to be an encourager rather than an influencer? Well, it all comes down to ego. An influencer wants to always be in the forefront. They want their ideas, their methods to set the trends and everyone to then follow them. For them, it's all about ego. It's about making a name for yourself and being able to leverage your following online and the ability to influence people to use a product, do makeup a certain way, shoot a certain film stock, use a certain camera. And you know what? I get it. We all want to be famous. We all want that 15 seconds of fame. We want our name to be known. And the thing about social media and the internet, it does allow people to do that. Not just celebrity, but anyone could potentially become an influencer. So there's that grab of having that amount of power and influence over a large number of people. An encourager doesn't really do the same thing. An encourager is someone who is willing to be a secondary character. Again, taking the biblical example, more people know about Paul than they know about Barnabas. But without Barnabas and his encouragement, not only of Paul, but of the other apostles to accept Paul, he kind of plays a secondary role. There's no letters attributed to Barnabas. Most of the New Testament is attributed to the writings of Paul. But without Barnabas, there wouldn't have been a Paul. So I think as someone who prefers to encourage other people, I need to take a step back from trying to influence what other people think, but instead take what people are saying and encourage them to continue. If they ask a question, ask more, encourage them on paths and things that they're doing right, and helping them fix where they see themselves having problems or having questions. It becomes less about me imposing my methodology and techniques on others, but encouraging others to use what I've done as a launching board and just make it their own. It becomes less about my ego and more about holding other people up and going like, yes, you are doing the right thing. And I think that's better than being an influencer. And you know what? I think one of the biggest problems is that encouragement is actually discouraged these days, especially within influence culture. You want everyone to follow the latest trends, specifically the trends that you are trying to set. You want people to give into the hype that you are pushing through online content. And again, there's really nothing wrong with trying new things. There's nothing wrong with trying a new trend. But again, you are actively discouraging people from doing what they want, trying to go ahead with the path that they are laying out for themselves. And discouragement of using certain brands is also a big thing. And I'm going to be very real here for a moment that I gave into it at one point. I had seen a whole bunch of reels that were putting down a particular brand of camera that I actively shoot. And this was coming from someone who shot a lot of content with another type of camera and actively discouraging people from using anything other than that particular brand. And I left a mean-spirited comment on it. And I immediately felt bad, but the damage was already done. Every time that I got a notification that someone had replied to me, it was a similarly mean-spirited reply. And I ended up breaking two rules. The first being the golden rule, do unto others as you have done unto you. And the second one being one of the primary internet rules, don't feed the trolls. I still feel bad about leaving such a discouraging remark on this person's content, even though his content itself was discouraging to people. And I'm kind of glad that I got into photography before all of this came in, because I honestly feel that if I got into it today, I would probably not want to share as much online because of this culture of discouragement. Thankfully, I grew up in a household that was encouraging. My parents encouraged me to pursue a career that was right for me, hobbies that were right for me. They gave me time, they gave me space to be able to cultivate those skills and actively encouraged it. And that continues today with my wonderful wife, Heather. And thankfully, the online communities I got involved with very early were very encouraging. I'm of course talking about the Film Photography Project and just this active role in encouraging people and providing easy answers, not just immediately pointing them towards a preset pack or a course that you had to buy, but being willing to answer these questions and encouraging me to explore film photography more. And so that's what I've been trying to do through my own blog and my own videos, and trying to listen to what people are asking more than talking, which, as someone who does a podcast, a YouTube channel, and a blog, might seem counterintuitive, but I much prefer to get people asking me questions and me being able to give them answers, or even just say, you know what, you are on the right path, and to encourage people to walk their own path, not the path that I'm walking.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Well, folks, that wraps it up for this video. I hope I have somewhat been an encouragement to you, either through this video or in the past. And if you have made it this far, thank you so much for listening to this rather unscripted ranting. As I said in the introduction, things like this don't happen to me that often, and being constantly reminded about it has only pushed me to make this more. And normally I would end this off asking you to subscribe or leave a comment, answer a question that I pose. But instead, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I want you to leave a comment on how I can be an encouragement to you. Is there a technique that you've been struggling with? Is there a burning question that you have that you think I may know the answer to? I may know the answer and will gladly answer it. Or if you have an idea on a video to help encourage you, give me an idea and I will put my head down and try to get it out as soon as I possibly can, either in long form or short form content. But that wraps it up. As always, be good to yourself, be good to others, shoot what you love, with what you love, on what you love. Don't give in to the hate, and don't give in to the hype.
You and I can weather any storm.